7 haunted toys that parents should never ignore asterisk when darkness wears a smile. Imagine walking to your child's room at night. The soft glow of a nightlight casts long shadows across the floor. Toys are scattered everywhere, plush animals, dolls, board games, colorful trinkets. It looks normal, innocent, harmless. But then your child wakes up screaming, terrified of a figure you cannot see. Eh? They point to a corner of the room. Their dreams turn into nightmares. Their laughter fades into anxiety. And you're left wondering, what changed? The unsettling truth is that sometimes darkness doesn't storm in through the obvious doors. It sneaks in quietly, disguised as play, wrapped in bright packaging and placed on toy shelves for children to grab with eager hands. Parents think they are buying entertainment. In reality, some of these toys are cleverly designed Trojan horses inviting influences that parents would never knowingly welcome into their homes. This story is not written to stir fear, but to sound an alarm. Across the world, testimonies from families, faith leaders, and even secular observers reveal patterned 7 categories of toys that are not as harmless as they appear. Their danger lies not only in their design, but in their unseen influence. And so, what follows is an extended look at these 7 haunted toys, why they matter, how they affect children spiritually and psychologically, and what parents must do. The Ouija board, the gateway. No child should touch the Ouija board. Sometimes marketed as a spirit board, is often sold in the same aisle as Monopoly, Clue, or Scrabble. Its colorful packaging suggests it's nothing more than a game of curiosity, a group activity for children and teens. But its history tells a different story. The Ouija board was originally created in the 19th century as a divination tool, used in seances to speak with the dead. Spiritualists claimed it provided a channel for spirits to communicate. When toy companies commercialized it, they stripped away the warnings and turned it into a fun party game. The problem: the function of the board never changed. Whether sold by a toy company or used by a medium, it opens a door of invitation. Children place their hands on the planchette, ask questions like, "Who is here?" and watch in awe as it moves. But the spirits answering are not innocent. Countless testimonies describe homes filled with strange noises, sudden chills, shadows moving, and children tormented by voices. Spirits are legalistic. When someone calls, they answer. Our child may think they're just playing, but they've extended an invitation, and what enters rarely leaves easily. Families have spent years undoing the damage caused by one innocent board game. Asterisk, asterisk, LOL. Surprise dolls' innocence wrapped in corruption. Asterisk, LOL. Surprise dolls exploded in popularity, marketed as fun collectibles, where each doll comes hidden in a ball waiting to be revealed. Children love the excitement of unwrapping layers of accessories. But controversy began when parents noticed disturbing patterns. When dipped in cold water, many dolls revealed hidden outfits, fishnet stockings, provocative clothing, tattoos, even occult-like symbols. These hidden designs weren't printed on the packaging. They were tucked away as surprises. Parents worldwide shared concerns that their children were being subtly introduced to sensuality and rebellion disguised as fashion play. This is more than just clothing styles. Psychologists warn that repeated exposure to provocative imagery at a young age shapes how children view their own identity. It normalizes distorted self-expression and conditions them to equate rebellion with empowerment. Spiritually, the concern is even deeper. What is normalized in childhood often grows into acceptance in adulthood. C.S. Lewis once warned that the safest path to destruction is the gradual one. These dolls are not shocking enough to spark alarm at first glance. Instead, they chip away slowly at innocence, teaching children to see darkness as glamorous. Asterisk, asterisk, the Charlie game. A viral invitation. Social media trends spread faster than wildfire, and the Charlie pencil game is one of the most dangerous examples. Children balance two pencils in a cross shape on a piece of paper marked with yes and no. Then they ask, "Charlie, are you here?" and wait for the pencils to move. For many, it looks like nothing more than gravity or air currents. But the testimonies that followed were too consistent to ignore. Students reported nightmares, feelings of being watched, sudden aggression, and voices whispering in their rooms at night. Even when the paper was torn and pencils thrown away, the torment continued. The reason is clear. The game is an invocation. In spiritual law, calling upon a spirit even, it just grants it permission to respond. Okay. This is not imaginary play. It's a contract. I once counseled a teenager whose entire personality shifted after playing. A key. They became withdrawn, plagued with terrifying dreams, and hostile toward prayer. The game had cracked open a door, and it took months of prayer and spiritual cleansing to shut it. Asterisk, asterisk, Monster High Dolls, glamorizing the macabre with slogans like "Be yourself," "Be unique," "Be a monster," "Monster High Dolls present." Themselves as edgy and empowering. Their designs include vampires, zombies, ghouls, and werewolves, all dressed in fashionable gothic attire. On the surface, it's creative fun, but the philosophy is deeper and darker. These dolls encourage children to identify with the undead, to glamorize death, to make monsters into role models. The problem isn't just aesthetic, it's ideological. Children begin mimicking these dolls in speech, clothing, and attitude. They start to equate individuality with rebellion and darkness. This conditioning erases the natural boundary children should have between innocence and corruption. When darkness is glittered and glamorized, it stops looking like danger. And that's exactly how deception works. Asterisk, asterisk tarot cards for kids. Witchcraft? Repackaged it. Sounds absurd at first. Tarot decks designed for children. But bookstores and online markets are filled with pastel-colored tarot for kids sets, decorated with friendly animals and bright slogans like "Discover Your Power." These decks are not just cards. They introduce children to divination practices, teaching them to look to spirits, not to wisdom or faith, for guidance. Divination is ancient, but never innocent. In every spiritual tradition, there's a counterfeit power one that connects seekers not to harmless forces, but to entities that twist and deceive. The danger lies in normalization. Chaos. If a child learns early that drawing cards to speak with the universe is normal, they are far more likely to seek out deeper forms of witchcraft later. What begins as cute becomes consuming. Asterisk, asterisk, Huggy Wuggy. The plush toy of fear Huggy Wuggy looks harmless. A blue, wide-eyed plush with a big grin. But the character comes from Poppy Playtime, a horror video game designed to frighten, disturbingly. Huggy Wuggy Toys songs in YouTube videos have been marketed to children. The songs associated with the character are deeply unsettling, with lyrics about strangulation, death, and laughter at violence. Parents have reported their children singing these songs without understanding the words, giggling as they mimic themes of murder. The subtle damage is profound. Children become desensitized to fear and death, treating violence as entertainment. A plush toy that should comfort, instead, teaches children to laugh at horror. Asterisk, asterisk. Rainbow High Dolls. Identity-distorted Rainbow High Dolls are marketed as fashionable, empowering, and modern. But their designs feature heavy makeup, provocative outfits, and exaggerated sass. They encourage children to equate empowerment with pride, attitude, rebellion. The spiritual danger is clear when innocence is replaced with hypersexualized fashion and identity confusion. Children are trained to mirror something unholy. Identity is one of the most sacred parts of a child's development, and when it is twisted early, the damage can last a lifetime. These dolls aren't just trendy. They are carefully crafted influencers, shaping how children see themselves and what they value. Asterisk, asterisk. Why toys matter more than we think? Skeptics may ask. Aren't these just toys? Aren't we overreacting? The answer lies in understanding how children develop. Children are incredibly impressionable. Their imaginations are open canvases. What they see, repeat, and play with leaves a deep imprint on their worldview. Psychologists affirm that repeated exposure to violent or disturbing imagery desensitizes the mind. Spiritually, the concern is even sharper. Children are highly sensitive to atmospheres and influences. They may not understand the mechanics of the spiritual realm, but they feel it. That's why so many parents notice sudden mood swings, nightmares, or fear after a new toy enters the home. This isn't about plastic or fabric. It's about the unseen forces using those mediums as vessels. Asterisk the bigger picture. Why children are targeted. Why would darkness target children? Cool, because children are carriers of destiny. They are arrows in the hand of a warrior, capable of shaping the future. If their imagination can be corrupted early, their potential is disarmed. The strategy is cunning but simple. Use toys, media, and trends to normalize rebellion, desensitize innocence, and open doors to darkness. Parents who don't pay attention unknowingly hand over permission slips to forces they can't see. The devil rarely arrives in horns and flames. He prefers colors, music, and collectibles. He prefers whispers, not roars. What parents must do. A practical guide if you suspect your child is coming into contact with spiritually dangerous toys. Here's what to do. Pray for discernment. Ask for wisdom to see what doesn't belong in your home. Sometimes, the most innocent-looking item carries the darkest influence. Remove and destroy. Don't donate it. Don't resell it. Break it. Burn it. And discard it completely. Cleanse the home. Pray over your child's room. Anoint the space with oil. If that